What's up, mi gente? It is your girl Becky, and I am back. Thank you for tuning in. And today we are actually gonna just jump right in. I like to babble a lot, and I'm trying to stop that, Anyways, we are going to jump into some questions first-time parents have. And I actually Googled some because I cannot really remember what my questions were last time. I do remember some, but I don't remember all of them. So if you guys are curious and all that stuff, just keep on watching. If you like this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Alright? So let's get started. So when I found out that I was pregnant, I was ecstatic. But I was also so nervous because never been pregnant my whole life. Duh, first time parent. And I was thinking, oh my god, like, what if I do this? Am I gonna miscarry because I do this? Or am I gonna do this? And then it's gonna result to my baby having deformities or not being able to breathe, like just medical complications. So I was just freaking out because I found out I was pregnant on Saturday, and then on Monday I called for a doctor's appointment, and I didn't have to go in until Tuesday. That's what freaked me out the most because it was in a span of Saturday to Tuesday, like not knowing anything at all. And I'm actually a stomach sleeper. I don't like sleeping with my stomach up. I don't know, it's just not comfortable for me. So when I got pregnant, I freaked out because I thought if I slept stomach side down, I was squishing my baby. And I was like, oh my god, not my baby. Not my baby. So I had a couple of questions, and I took them to the first OB that I went to, and I felt like I wasn't really answered properly. I felt like they were just, oh, we're just gonna give you the basic answer. It's like, whatever. So I called my family doctor and I told her, is there any way that I can go to a different one because I don't feel comfortable here? And yep, she sent me to the one in what is now called Unity Point Health, which we used to call it St. Luke's back then. So I went there, and my doctor, she was amazing. She actually answered all my questions very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Actually, I'm going to read them, and then I will try to answer them with my experience. I am no expert. I never said I was an expert. I'm just a confused mother. And I will always be confused because motherhood is a confusing time. And you tend to think that you got the grasp of it, and all of a sudden it just flips you all over. So the first question I did was, right when I went in, I asked if it was okay that I was a stomach sleeper and that if baby was going to be fine. And my doctor, I'm not saying everybody should do this, ask your doctor. She said, you are okay, stomach side down. Your belly will be growing and growing. That stomach side down will no longer be comfortable. So your body does adjust to your sleeping pattern, and you are able to sleep a certain way. You will not crush baby because baby will definitely tell you if they're uncomfortable or if they're too much in a tight space. So to me, that was actually a very relieving thing because ever since I was a little kid, even though my mom put me right side up, I would always flip to my stomach, and so does my son. I could try to flip him over, and no, he'll still stomach side down. He likes it like that. I can't really fight him. Not unless I swaddle him, and I'm not going to swaddle him because he knows how to get out, and I don't want him to, strangle out of his own blanket. That's not... I went through all that for him to do that. No, thank you. So, yeah. Okay, it says, how should I care for my newborn's umbilical cord? How should I clean it? And when will it fall off? Okay, this is what the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends keeping the umbilical cord clean and dry. And as it starts to crust and fall off, you want to clean it. Use a small amount of rubbing alcohol a couple times a day. If you notice a lot of redness or foul odor, have your baby seen by your pediatrician. The cord should fall off in 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. I didn't have to worry about that. My baby was born premature. So he was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And when I went in one day, I saw that he didn't have his umbilical. And I asked if it fell off, and they said yes. And they asked me if I wanted to keep it. I said not really, because I will lose it. I know I will lose it. So, yeah. When is a baby's fever high enough for me to call a doctor? This is Dr. Carlson recommends that for infants less than 3 months of age, you should contact your pediatrician anytime your child's temperature is greater than 100. In general, if your baby is not acting well, call for your pediatrician whether there's a fever or not. As a first-time mom, you will always constantly freak out over any little thing. You can freak out if he or she starts coughing, if you see spots on them, if you hear them sneeze constantly. Oh my God, you have no idea how many times I've called the doctor, and they are very nice. They know you're a first-time parent, so they know ways to calm you down, which I totally appreciate my doctor. My pediatrician is amazing, and her nurse is just as amazing as she is, and oh my God, I love it. Just find yourself a pediatrician that would be amazing for your kid. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to explain yourself. You go look for another pediatrician. That is my recommendation. Just because you can take him to this certain doctor, and if you're not comfortable with them and you don't like their diagnosis, you're going to spend more money taking them to the hospital and figuring out if they know, rather than getting a pediatrician that's actually nice and able to help you out, you know? When can my baby take pain relievers without the call of a doctor first? Okay. Irritability and fever before 3 months of age should be evaluated by a physician, responds Dr. Robert M. Jacobson. Between 3 to 6 months for mild illness with or without fever, a parent may administer acetaminophen for a few days, but parents should seek medical attention for fevers if it's high of 104 or more, unexplained, or lasts more than 3 days. I would actually rather be comfortable calling my doctor before I even decide to give acetaminophen, just because you don't really know the dosage of how much you should. And in the medical, because I did take pharmacology, they have this equation that they have to do. So there's a reason why they weigh you, and there's a reason why they want to make sure that it's to the T, because if you tell your doctor that your son or daughter is 25 pounds when they're in fact only 18 pounds, the dosage they will give the kid will be very strong. That's why every time that he gained weight, and I would call them and I'm like, okay, he is 18 pounds now. He is 25 pounds now. And they will always tell me the correct amount of dosage. All you have to do is leave a message for the triage nurse. Triage nurses are really good at calling back. Unless it's late in the evening, then they don't really call back. It depends. But my triage nurse always calls me back. But yeah, sorry, my nose itches so bad. But if you don't feel comfortable giving medication and you don't want to take your baby in, just call the triage nurse. They usually can tell whether or not baby is sick enough for you to actually bring them in, or you just need to put a humidifier or give them more liquids, just different stuff. They've studied this for a reason. How long is it okay for baby to cry? Generally speaking, you don't need to let your newborn infant cry. It also depends on the age of the baby and the exact issue you're dealing with. If you're having troubles getting your baby to sleep, for example, contact your pediatrician for advice. So I do have some things that happened to me when I brought my baby back from the NICU, he started crying for 2 days. I could not get him to go to sleep. He was so irritable, and we just couldn't figure out what it was. And luckily for me, I called my mom, and bless grandparents, oh my God, bless their souls, or bless whoever is there for you emotionally, physically, stability, or whatever you want to say. I asked my mom if she, after work, if she could just come straight to my house and take care of my son. Well, I at least took a 2-hour nap. I was so exhausted. I was on the brink of crying. And luckily for me, I have a friend of mine that works in the hospital that I was, and I texted her and I was like, can you please talk to the, please, my bad, please talk to the NICU nurses. Let them know what's going on with my son. I haven't been able to sleep for 2 days. I just need to know if something's going on. Well, it turns out he was having acid reflux going up, which gave him a little heartburn. And I feel so bad for not knowing this, but we're human. We don't know. They suggested on his bassinet put a book underneath his mattress, and it actually elevates, not like this, but just elevates a little bit, just enough so if he does have acid going up, it will stay down. And so I did try this. Oh my God, 6 hours of sleep. I got 6 hours of sleep, which I was so happy, So yeah, it also depends on anything. You could always talk to your pediatrician if you want. They're there, they studied for this, and they can tell you what their opinions is, but also ask the grandparents. They're grandparents for a reason. They've raised children. Me, my sister, my brother, of course I'm going to ask my mom. Of course I'm going to ask my mother-in-law because she has 4 kids too. So why not ask for help? It doesn't make you a bad mom to ask for help. I feel like it makes you a parent if you don't ask and you're freaking out, because you will freak out on the baby. You want to prevent being mad at the baby. Ask for help. That's all I say. Just ask for help. Okay, the next one says, should I wake sleeping baby to feed him? In newborns who are small, you really need to consider waking the baby every 3 hours. It is not true that every baby will let you know when he or she is hungry, especially during the first weeks of life. Larger babies who have many feedings during the day may be able to sleep longer stretches at night without waking for feedings and still have plenty to eat. It really should be evaluated on an individual basis depending on your baby. My baby had a really high metabolism. Oh, he let me know when he was hungry. I lucked out on that. He would wake up when he was hungry, and then once he ate, it was good. I did breastfeed for a month, and then he didn't want my nipple. So, me being a great mom, I feel like I'm a great mom. I pumped. For 6 months, I pumped breast milk. And my doctor kind of recommended me to add Ensure, because oh my God, he'll eat 4 ounces and he would be hungry again in 2 hours. He metabolized all of that very, very fast. Does my breastfed baby need vitamin supplements? No. I was told by my doctor no, because if you eat healthy and you eat the recommended vegetables, fruits, everything, it goes to your baby. I'm anemic, so that freaked me out. So I would ask my doctor, like, do I need to put iron supplements or anything of that? And she said no, because if I felt like I was going low on sugar, my body will let me know. And so what I would do is I would eat beans, raisins, anything that had iron, but I wouldn't eat the safe doses because I didn't want to overproduce iron, and then passing it to my son is just not good. But Dr. Colson says the AAP recommends vitamin D for all breastfed babies from birth and some source of iron when the baby reaches 6 months of age. Okay. I know babies are supposed to sleep on their backs, but mine keeps turning on his tummy. What should I do? And then Dr. Colson feels very passionate about this topic. He says we recommend that all healthy newborns be placed on the back to sleep. At about 5 months of age, the baby may learn to roll over. Dr. Coulson adds, at this point, parents no longer have to flip their baby onto his or her back in the middle of the night. However, SIDS precautions should be taken. SIDS does happen, unfortunately, and not much is learned from it. And I wish it was, but it's not. So you tend to decide, my baby slept right beside me in the bassinet. I did not put my baby in my bed. I could be tired as hell and I'm feeding him and I just want to sleep. Oh no, I put myself in an uncomfortable position, so even if I tried falling asleep, it would be too uncomfortable for me and I would just jolt up, you know. Okay, this was asked, when can my baby sleep without a hat or without being swaddled? I was told no hat unless they need it, like they're getting cold, all that stuff. And swaddled, I swaddled my kid because it felt like a safe haven for him. I stopped swaddling a little later, but I have a friend that she is a CT scan person. And what she was told is once your baby can get out of the swaddle, just don't swaddle them because it could potentially be dangerous for them. Trying to unswaddle, like something caught up, they can have the blanket over and it'll be hard to breathe. What was suggested was a layer of clothing and their blanket for swaddle. That's the way to keep them warm. When can I take my new baby out in public? I'm afraid she'll catch a cold, but I need to run errands. What should I do? If an infant under 3 months of age gets a fever, it's hard for clinicians to tell if the infection is serious because babies don't localize infection like adults, so they often have to admit the infant to the hospital for tests. So you don't, it says here that you're not even supposed to take your infant out until 3 months of age, and I didn't do that. What I did is in the chair, of course, his little portal chair, I got him very bundled up, make sure that he was good, and then I had a fleece over, and I just went quickly to get the basic necessities, then came back home. But I actually didn't take him out until he saw the doctor, and that's when I asked the doctor, can I take him out? Always ask your doctor. Okay? So this is some of the questions that I saw online. Again, there's way more. If you need me to speak more about pregnancy related than newborn related, please let me know. Just because pregnancy related is mostly affected to you, and I kind of feel like you're the adult, you should be thinking, oh, let me ask the doctor, you know? So yeah. So this is what I have for right now. If you like it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you don't like it, keep the negativity to yourself. I don't need it in my life. I've already excluded all the negative people in my life. I don't need to do this again, okay? I am 28 years old. I don't want to go through that crap. I'm a mama. I own a house. I have responsibilities. I have a husband. Why would I want to have drama in my YouTube channel? Granted, I still will have drama in my YouTube channel, but it would be nice not to have it, okay? So, adios, and yeah.